Hi guys, it's Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay you guys, I thought I'd just turn on my camera today. I am doing some spinning. I'm spinning because Christy Glass has a knit along, and I'm getting in my little chair here, and I want to make a slouchy cardigan, and I am using my art yarn mixed. I'm using my art yarn, so I am doing a really loose knit with the art yarn and intermixing it with some commercial so it'll drape and have some lightness to it. But it's going to be a really cool, fun, funky cardigan. In fact, you know what? One second. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Just a second, and then I'll show you about spinning. Alright, I'm coming back around. Sorry, guys. Okay, it's on the needles, so, of course, because I'm working on it. So, this is going to be a funky, fun and funky cardigan. Let me see something. So, I'll let you guys see. So, here we go. Isn't that cool, you guys? And so this right here is the commercial yarn, and that's going to be in between it. In fact, I'm going to start doubling up on this so that it'll be two of these and then one of these, because this gets, see how bulky it gets, but it'll look so cool. I think it's going to look awesome when I'm done. So hopefully I get finished in time for this knit along, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start spinning. Now this this wool, let me show you guys real quick, and then we'll come back down. See right here on my freezer, that's where I have all of my wool that I've drafted. And that's called drafting, when you pull it apart and make long pieces. And then there are my little sheep blocks right there, and I have hand dyed all of this myself, and I think I used pink lemon Kool-Aid for that. And then right next to that, the gold stuff, is some Angelina, which I'll be mixing in. Okay, so let's go back down to the wheel, and I will show you guys some stuff. Okay, let me get myself situated. And I've already been starting on this, when working on this one for a little while. Okay. So what I have going on is I have like a little pattern, believe it or not, even though it looks like a big, kind of a jumbled type of thing, but there is a pattern going on. I'm trying to think what I did last. Okay, so my next thing here is a lock. So I'm going to spin a lock in. Alright, so what I do, this is how I like to spin the locks in. I like to divide it, not in half, but 3/4 of the way. So here's the long lock part that's going to be left out, and this part we're going to tuck in. Here we go. And I try to always, I don't always accomplish it, but I try to work close to the orifice. So there we go, see? It's locked in. So that's that's one of those little curly cues from the sheep, which I love. Then I'm going to take, I already have some on my lap. Okay, now we're going to spin a little bit of a, okay, now I'm going to make a bobble, and then I'm going to spin a little bit. Okay. And now I'm going to make a just a really chunky little piece right there. Okay. So what I like to do, I try to do like a lock, a bobble. Oh, I like to do a lock, a little space, then a bobble, a little space, and then one of these things. What did somebody call these the other day? I heard somebody call this something. Anyway, let's go ahead and make sure this is on here a little bit better. Okay. So that's going to be the pattern. I'm trying to think of the name of what somebody called these the other day. I can't remember. And remember the gold stuff I showed you? I've sprinkled that gold stuff all on top of here. So there's gold Angelina throughout this whole thing. Okay, so now I'm going to make a bauble. Okay, it's time for a little, for the little cone thing. Oh, and I also let it go just a little bit so it doesn't get too wound up. And I've heard people before say that they don't believe in that, but I don't know. It works good for me. This is art yarn, you know, so it's very creative. So I don't think there's any right or wrong answers. It's what you like. Okay. So then we're going to come here and we're going to make one of those little cones. We'll call them cones for right now. I'm going to make a big one. And then there we go. Let it loose a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little curly Q on. A little sheep's lock. And when you buy these sheep's lock, I get mine on Etsy. And they need to be between 4 and 6 inches long. So that's what I look for, especially for these, because that's a big thing, is you want them long enough. Okay, that's in there. And you move this thing down as it gets filled up, your bobbin, so you just keep moving it down like that. Okay. And let me get some more. Okay. All right, and then next we're going to create a bauble. Kind of created a little thing right there, but it's fine. Okay, so here we go with the bauble. And we're going to create a little space, and then we're going to make a little cone right here. All right, that one's just going to be a mini cone. Release some of the tension. And then sometimes you can release too much tension and ruin your cone. Okay, then I like the name of that cone. Someone else named this something else, and I like the name of it. Okay, so we're going to spin just a little bit a ways. Okay. And then I'm going to put a lock in. Oh, and there's another thing I can put in here and there. It's kind of messy, and I ended up with this gold Angelina stuff all over my house, so I've tried to chill out a little bit on it. But we're going to make a bead with it. I learned how to make the beads from what's her name? I just watched her the other day, and she showed how to make a bead out of the Angelina. Namaste Farms. She has her own farm, and she raises sheep. Lindsay-Dells and something else. And all of them, I think, are the long-haired, because she loves to spin locks. So you guys have to check her out. She's a wealth of knowledge. I learned a ton from her. She's the one I learned really how to, even though it's a little bit different than how she sets hers, and she splits open something and then puts it in, but I learned a lot from her. I still use her technique kind of, and I changed it a little bit. So, like we all do with all of our crafts, you learn something and then you kind of make it your own. Okay, so now I'm going to make a little gold bead. So you take a little bit of this Angelina like this. Okay. Kind of get it all going in one direction. And I take it and I split it, not in half, but 3/4 of the way, just like I do the lamb locks, and then start spinning. And it will make a little bead. Look how cool that is. Look at that gold bead. Isn't that fabulous? How fun, huh? So then, to kind of lock that in, not kind of, to lock it in, make sure that you spin some wool right behind it and a little on top of it. I do that too. I start spinning some wool. We'll make a little thing here. I start spinning some wool right on top of the locks too right away. Kind of over the lock a little bit, so just to make just extra security. Okay. That looks really cool. And let's now do a there we go. We'll do one of these. And I like to go, see how I kind of go back and forth at the end of it? Like if I create one of these things, I go back and forth with the like the very end part so that it kind of locks, so it locks it in. So none of my stuff is like going crazy. Nothing's falling off everywhere. I haven't had anything fall out. No locks, no. When I very first started, I had some issues, but I've worked them out. Okay, so I need a little bit longer space in between here and the lock. So here we go. Let's get the wheel going. There we go. Okay. Now, if you want to learn how to spin perfectly spun yarn, I'm not the person to watch. I like to spin art yarn. So, if you're interested in art yarn or just seeing me spin this is how I'm doing it. Oh, you guys, you can also spin, you can spin anything into here. Like you could spin beads in here, and you string the beads with like some embroidery thread, and it's the embroidery thread that you get to catch onto this, and then the beads in there. So I'm going to make some paper beads, you guys, and make them the color I want them, and they'll be really light, so they won't be too heavy because it's going to be a garment. So I'm going to be making some paper beads for that. Also, you can spin in the, what is that called? We all use it all the time. Let me keep spinning. Oh, I can't believe it. It's from India when they cut up their garments from silk. Oh my God, why is that not entering my brain? Don't you guys hate that? You're on camera and then you can't think of what the hell you're trying to say. Anyway. Oh, that's a nice one right there. Okay. Release some of the twists a little bit. Don't release too much twists because it will come out. But, you know, just a little tension. Like I said, I've heard people say don't release any tension, but whatever. I think there needs to be some tension released. At least from my spinning, there does. I mean, maybe they're a better spinner than I am. I'm fairly new at this, so I just like to make sure that I'm not getting things too tight. Okay, we need to get a little bit of room here. There we go. All right, so now I want to put in a lock again. And when I put my locks in, I make sure that I choose the curly end. Like, see how that's curly on the end? You want the pretty end. So that's the main thing with the lock, to choose it. Put it on the curly end. Have that be the part that hangs out. Okay. Oh, that lock didn't go in, but that's fine. So there it is, locked in. And to lock it in even a little bit better, I always, well, you have to spin, spin behind anyway because that's our pattern, but put it right on top of there just to help everything just stay locked in. There we go, make a bobble. Release some of the twists. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to go back up to the top because that's getting kind of full. This whole thing is getting pretty full. I'm at the end of this bobbin, but I wanted to get on here and show you guys. I wanted to do this yesterday, but you know, some days you just don't have the energy to make videos. I did make a video yesterday. I just didn't have the energy to like make a video that's kind of like a tutorial. They take energy. Videos, period, take energy. And if you don't have the energy and you're not going to sound, you need to sound, motivated about what you're going to talk about. So Probably best if you're not motivated and you don't have the energy, it's best not to make the video, I think. But today, I had the mojo and the energy to make one, so I decided to turn the camera on. Okay, sorry, I was adding a little more Angelina. Angelina is the gold stuff I showed you guys. All right, let's spin a little bit more. One of my lamb locks got caught there. Okay. I try to stay by the orifice as much as possible and let this pull in, but it's not always the way. What the heck's going on? Just a second. I think that, okay. Okay, there we go. And I'm trying to think what's next. What did I do here? Another lock. I'm going to do another gold bead here in just a second. After I do this lock. See how fuzzy the lock is on that side? So that's like when they shave it off the animal. But you want to have that side. See how nice that is? Hopefully you guys are seeing that. It's like a little curly Q. You want the curly Q. Okay. Of course. Just makes common sense. And so you just leave this part alone. Okay, the part that you want to show, you just leave that part alone, and then you just grab onto the other part that you had left out and just start winding it around. Now, I don't release any twists when I put a lock in. It needs like all the twists, because if you relieve some of the twists there, I found that it drops the lock out, so I don't do that. Okay. We need to make a bobble here. There we go. Bobble. And then we'll make a little, like a little cone. There we go. So there's that, you got a lock, a bobble, and then the cone. Okay. And, oh, I keep forgetting. I want to put in, okay, I'll put a little bead in right now. Let me just lock this in a little bit more. Okay. I'll throw a little bead in. Take my Angelina right there on my knee. I'm so excited to make paper beads, you guys. I think it's going to be so fun. I love making paper beads. And I hardly ever do it because I don't have a reason to do what I'm going to do with them. But now I have a reason. And I can choose the paper to make my paper beads to match my project. So that's exciting. Okay, wait a minute. I got to put that in half. There we go. Oh, what the heck is that? Okay, just a second. Let me get this whole thing under control. Okay, there we go. And somebody told me, they wrote me and said, that looks so hard, Angela. Okay, look at that bead. Isn't that so cool? And you guys, it's not hard. You can start watching my videos when I have videos. Namaste Farm, she has great videos. How to Spin Yarn, she has great videos. Pinky Punky, and I'll put all these girls below. They all have great videos of doing it a long time. So if it's something that you think you'd be interested in doing, start watching their videos. And right when I saw it, I was in love. I knew I would love spinning. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the dive. Because it is a dive. Because it's not cheap to get your wheel. Especially not to get a good one. And I do have a really good wheel, I think. So, How to Spin Yarn, her name is Ashley. She's the one I bought my wheel from. So, and I saw her spinning with it, and I just loved it. And And she's good because she even has a video and talks about the different types of wheels, and gives you reasons why you should pick one wheel over the other. Gives you some basis on choosing a wheel that's best for you. And then she is a representative of this company, Spinolution, and I ended up buying my wheel from her, and because that's the only way you can buy this wheel, you have to find a rep. So I will put her information below, and you can check her out. She also has like a little university, which I think I'm definitely probably gonna be taking some classes, some online classes about spinning that she put together. So it's really nice. Okay. Okay, there we go. And there's a lock. Okay, and that's locked in. My bobbin is getting full, really full. Okay, but I want to finish spinning. Alexa, timer off. I want to finish spinning what I have left of it on the over here on the side. So, and so then when I'm done with this, spinning all this, what I do after that is then I take it with a chair. I use my office chair, and I wind it up into a big long skein. And let me think of where I'm at. I did a bobble. Okay, and into a big skein, and then I tie off the skein. I'll have to show that. I'll show a video of how I do that sometime. And I tie off the skein, and then I soak it in some hot water, like as hot as I can stand it in the sink. That's the hotness that you need, and then that sets your yarn. So it sets all this, so it's make sure everything stays nicely. Again, there's some people who don't believe in setting their yarn, but I do. And then I go outside and I get a towel and I lay it down and I start beating it really pretty hard onto the table, onto the towel so it doesn't get dirty. And then turn it around and beat the other side and then just lay it out in the sun and let it dry. That's one nice thing about living here in Las Vegas, even though it's hot as hell and it's miserable all summer. When you're doing any project that needs drying, it dries so quick. Like my wool out there dries within, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half. And it would dry faster, but there's a lot of wool, you know what I'm saying? So about an hour and a half, it'll be completely dry. I know it's crazy. I always tell people, I live in hell. Okay, that one kind of, oh, okay, it didn't. There we go. The curly key's right there. All right, we got to lock this down. I got some wool over here that I need to draft. I'll show you guys what drafting is. Okay. I'm gonna change the tightness on my thing. I don't like right now how I'm working with my knob over here to get my tension right, because it should be drafting. It should be pulling more onto this wheel. So I'm working on that. Anyway, this is how you draft. Okay, hopefully you guys are seeing this. This is the end part of it. It's usually way bigger than this. This is the last little bit I had. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to just go like this. Now, some people don't pre-draft and have it all set up on the side because they've been doing this for so long that they can just take one big pile and just draft out and just keep going. But not me, because I mean, I've been doing this, how long have I been doing this? 6 or 8 weeks? Something like that. So it's hard for me to like draft at the same time I'm doing it. So I like to pre-draft. Okay, so this is just it right here. This is all drafting is. And it's relaxing. I'm going to split it in half. And then I take a little bit of, so this is my last little piece I have right here. I take a little bit of the Angelina, the gold stuff, and I sprinkle it over this. And it spins, so I can spin the gold, pretty gold stuff right into the wool. There might be enough Nah, I'll put some more. So I'm taking a little bit of this Angelina right here, and I'm going to sprinkle it. Okay, my camera turned off. And you know what I just realized is I don't have a lot of light on. Alexa, turn on kitchen lights. So I hope everything is bright enough. I'm going to open up my other window over here. Just a second, guys. So hopefully this this video doesn't turn out too dark. I'm hoping. And Alexa, turn on office lights.
Okay.
All right, got a little more light going on in here. Okay. So I showed you guys what drafting is. Let's continue on. Okay. And I'm going to turn back my attention. Where am I at? Okay. So now we need to create a bobble. Just a second, I'm spreading my Angelina onto this stuff. Okay. So next we need to make a bobble. There we go. And we'll make a little cone right there. It's a cute little cone. See, right now it should be pulling more onto the thing. I shouldn't have to go like this so much. I mean, you do have to, but I shouldn't have to as much. So I'm just keep messing with my tension. And I read the directions, and this is like you just kind of have to mess with your tension until you get it. Anyway, I might do some further research on that just to make sure. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, next is a, let me spin a little bit, and then next will be a, lock. Okay. All right, let's put another lock on. I love these little curly keys. Okay, that's on there, good. Okay. Okay. And, you know, I was just feeling it right now when I was doing it. It may just be me, because when I was like letting go more, it was going into, it was pulling in. And there's so many parallels between life and spinning and knitting. And one of them is, you know, on this wheel, don't be so tight. Like, let go, let loose. When it's trying to come in, let it come in. And don't keep pulling away so much. Isn't that a good parallel for life? I know, I think so. Okay. And when you're doing this, stay loose. In life, how many times if you stay loose do you do a lot better? Okay, what do I want to do here? We'll do another lock. Go on this side. Okay. Perfect. And you guys know what? It is going on here a lot better now. Now that I'm let go of some of the tension. Again, that's another thing I'm saying. Let go of some of the tension. In life, what do you need to do? Let go of some of the tension, which means, you know, relax. Don't be so stressed out, even when there's reasons to be stressed out. Just relax. it's not like you're going to stress out. It's going to make the situation any less stressful, right? But it'll probably make it better if you're not so stressed and tense. Okay, I'm going to make this cone a little bit bigger. That's what somebody called this, a honeycomb. That's what I liked it. So we'll call them honeycombs. I thought, oh, that's a cute little name for it. Let me let go some of that tension. Isn't little honeycomb sound cute? I think so. Okay, so now we will put another curly Q on. So I'm doing bobble, honeycomb, and then locks. Let me get this on here and then I'll explain something. The reason that you want pattern is when you go to knit it, okay? And the reason you want, so that you have pattern, so you have some consistency in knitting so it doesn't drive you so crazy. You want space in between each thing. Like here's the honeycomb, space, curly Q. Now there'll be some more space here and there'll be another bobble. The space in between is where you do your knitting, and you let this stuff hang loose in your knitting. So I'll show you guys that sometime too, of me knitting this slouchy cardigan that I showed you guys. Okay, what am I doing next? Okay. I'm confused. Not really. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a curly Q and honeycomb. And we're going to finish it up with that. I'm just going to spin. See, I'm not letting go like I was before. I need to focus on that. I just have some little bit of stuff left over here, and I'm just finishing it up. And when you go up and down like that with your wool, it really locks things in. That's what I find. So that's what I do, is I really try to lock everything in when I'm done. Okay, you guys. So okay, I'm gonna cut this off and show you guys. When you wind it around here, it makes sure that nothing unwinds. Let me grab a pair of scissors. Hopefully these scissors are tight enough. Oh, and I didn't talk to you guys about this. Okay, let me explain something. You're like, because you see this piece of purple stuff. What this is, let me show you. Okay, it's right here. I buy this at Joann's. I know I'm using real wool and the locks, and then I'm using something synthetic. This is a Lion brand, and it's that fuzzy, this really cool textury stuff that I actually hate knitting with. But it's good for, it's real textury and nubby, so it'll look good in your art yarn. Plus, this, your wool and your locks grab onto this so good. And it already has some bulkiness so that you have a base to make your art yarn. And it's really, really strong. So that's what I have, and that's down here in this bowl, in my yarn bowl, which I got at a thrift store. Is this beautiful, you guys? This wasn't really a yarn bowl. But I've seen these yarn bowls at different knitting things I've gone to, and knitting shows, and look how gorgeous this is. I picked it up for $5 or $6 at a thrift store, and it's handmade. You know, if I was to buy that new, it would have been, that was probably $300 or $400 at one time. So anyway, I should have explained that at the beginning. And this is called core spinning. When you do this, when you have a core, and your core is this right here. You can use whatever for a core, but I love this. And Pinky Punky, she's a channel you guys need to watch. She's the one who taught me, and I saw her. I'm not sure if she's using this exact stuff, but it looked like it to me, and that's where I learned how to use this stuff, and I love it. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So I'm going to cut this off of here. I like to tie it. I don't know if you have to or not. This is like my thing. But I make a knot at the end just to kind of secure things. It just makes me feel better. And there's already all kinds of bobbles and knots in your stuff, so it's not going to make a difference. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. So to take this off, you just remove this like this. It has magnets on it, so it's really nice. And then you just simply pull this off. And that's how you have your bobbin. Oh, and I leave myself a nice longer cord on this so that when I need to attach it and I need to knit with it, I have a nice little thing to attach. Anyway, just leave yourself some yarn. But anyway, I'll show you how some of it looks. I think this turned out gorgeous. Look how pretty this is. I love it. Oh my God. I think this is so beautiful. I think this is just gorgeous. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I wanted to do, I'm going to start just turning on the camera when I'm doing it and just show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, I just got something tangled up here. I'm sure not too bad. Kind of. Just a second, people. Okay, there we go. Okay, you guys, so that is it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up, that'd be great. I hope you guys learned something from this. If you can want to visit me on Facebook or Instagram, I'll friend you back there. Leave any comments or questions below. Make sure you subscribe, give a thumbs up. All right, you guys, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.